But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas?
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energy and skill. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are willing to oppose. What was once the furthest outpost of the old frontier of the West will be the furthest outpost on the new frontier of science and space. Houston, your city of Houston, with its manned spacecraft center, will become the heart of a large scientific and engineering community. But if I were to say, my fellow citizens, that we shall send to the moon 240,000 miles away from the control station in Houston, a giant rocket more than 300 feet tall, the length of this football field, made of new metal alloys, some of which have not yet been invented, capable of carrying heat and pressure several times more than a metal experience, fitted together with a precision better than the finest watch, carrying all the equipment needed for components, guidance, control, communication, food, and survival, on untried missions, with unknown electronics, and then returning safely to Earth, re-entering the atmosphere at 55,000 miles per hour, causing heat about half that of the temperature of the sun, almost as hot as it is here today, and do all this, and do all this, and do it right, and do it first, before this decade is out, then we must be bold.
I swear, if it happens one more time, I'm getting another headset. Right in the middle of that, right before the damn thing shut off, my audio went bloop, and I went, son of a bitch! Oh, I swear.
Spartan.
And this, guys, you are mods. You are mods. You do not have to bash Brother North with Canadian Super Chat of $10. Says Logie probably won't monetize the afternoon's birthday celebration. Here's to everything you have done. And here's to you a year of happiness and joy. Happy birthday, boss. Thank you, Chris. And then I turn around and Mark's doing one. Happy birthday. And there's the
What
other
else
one.
popped up?
Jesus. You guys are mods. You don't have to do that. Wishing Loki a very happy birthday. I hope you have a lovely day tomorrow. Thank you so very much, Purple Valkyrie, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and Chris Persia. There's only one skull worthy of my mods here in Valhalla. Skull!
Roll.
Dag Outlaw. Thank you. Thank you, Dag. I should just have my birthday stream now. Fuck it. 2 p.m. later today. Oh, happy lap around the Sunday. Thank you, Psychodorp 9. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We are going to thank you all. Arwen Avalon, Sherry, Dave G. Sound, Chris Burgess, Shane Nolan, Zachariah. Good morning. Thank you all so very much. Seriously, guys. Dave Bob. There's Dave Bob. Damn it.
So that means tomorrow you got to come on karaoke, have drunk out of your mind on your birthday, right?
Yes. Oh my God, Soul Assassin.
That means tomorrow you got to come on karaoke.
I heard you twice. It's deja vu. It's deja vu. That's why I felt with these episodes. I was like, holy shit, it's deja vu. Dave Bob says tomorrow is the day. Psycho North 9 says happy lap around the Sunday. Dag Outlaw, very, very happy day. Thank you guys so very much. I'm going to throw you out something. Long live the fighters. Skull!
Skull!
Go!
Long live the fighters!
And Arwen Amelon got it. They hit the nail on the head. Rambling Minute with such fervor, we heard him twice. Yes. Absolutely.
His voice wandered around and then came in again.
Yes. I fixed it.
All right, so we're gonna look at 2 episodes this morning from Space Above and Beyond. We're gonna look at an episode called Pearly, which by God is one of the weirdest damn episodes they did, which could explain why they were canceled. Kind of. I mean, it was a great show, but then they had an episode like Pearly and another episode called R&R where we have Coolio. Yes, Coolio. Like, y'all remember Coolio. Anyone who doesn't remember who Coolio is, he's the guy who did the song Living in a Gangster's Paradise. Coolio is in this episode.
And didn't they market the hell out of that?
Oh, yeah.
They marketed the hell out of that, along with David Duchovny as Handsome Alvin EL 1543, who is uncredited in this episode because he was like, I'll do it, but don't tell anybody I did it.
I'll do it for you, but I don't want it on my record, my permanent record.
No. So let's start off with Pearly. I'm going to read the summary on this. On a planet overrun with Chigs, the 5/8th retreat with a tank driver of the U.S. Army 7th Cavalry Regiment upon a tank named Pearly. They encounter the eccentric Major Cyril McKendrick, sole survivor of a battalion of British Coldstream Guards. Wang encounters a silicate of the same model that previously tortured him. Purple Valkyrie.
This episode was like a fever dream. I was watching it and wondering what the hell is actually going on.
I think they got into my wine.
I think they did.
I
This
think they got
episode
into-
had nothing to do with anything else, and I'm really glad for that.
Yeah. I think they got into some magic mushrooms.
That too.
It was just so weird. We've got characters acting like parodies of themselves. We've got the Elroy model AI turning back up yet again. We've got a guy that's in love with his tank that treats it more like a girlfriend than a mode of transportation. He whispers to it and he kind of pats it, and it's a really weird relationship that he's got going with this thing. And then we've got this eccentric British guy who is the most British person I've ever seen on stream.
Yeah.
Yep, stranded behind enemy lines, and he don't care.
No.
He does not care. But it was
They find him in a dugout cave under the ground, and apparently he's kind of learned how to interpret what the Chigs are doing just by their signals.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the old Australian coast watchers back in World War II, just kind of getting advanced knowledge of it. But the thing is he's not in contact with anybody, so what good's it doing anybody?
Yeah.
Yes. And even when he tells them, they don't believe him. They think he's making it up because he's been alone for so long.
Yeah. He's been back there with the tank driver smoking some magic mushroom too.
Yeah.
Riding around in Pearly, yes.
Riding around in Pearly. That tank is just
My girlfriend, the tank.
Yeah. Well, now we know where Disney got the idea for in Solo.
Oh, now that's a mental image I didn't need this time in the morning. Thank you.
you know, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that they boosted this again off of a World War II story about a guy in his tank. There even was a movie, I believe, about a group of soldiers in their tank. They called it Fury.
Yep.
Brad
It's
Pitt.
actually in the British Tank Museum. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they pulled this from something concerning that. The British officer and his tank. Because they loved those tanks. Those tanks were everything. Those tanks kept them alive.
Yes, and I can kind of see, forming an attachment because you're so reliant on this thing. But this took it to a whole new level. He was treating this tank like a girlfriend or horse. It was that kind of symbiotic relationship. It was just really weird. This seems like one of those episodes that they kind of put on the pile and then they pulled it out of the pile because they needed something to film.
Yeah, and that thing was very power hungry because they kept having to change the batteries in it seemed like every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you've only got like a 15-minute show, 45-minute show. So, yeah, I would say they probably have to exaggerate the need to swap batteries.
Yeah, I think they said the trip was supposed to take like 8 hours or something before they had to get to their rendezvous point or whatever. I can't remember right off the top of my head.
It was all battery powered.
Yep. They had Tesla batteries in it, or
Yeah, it was the modern day Prius.
Lithium-ion.
They had little battery packs they swapped out. Had to swap them out, and of course, while Wang was out taking a whiz or something, the Elroy model snuck up on him and pretty much made him a deal that he couldn't refuse.
I'm going to make him an offer he no refuse.
Solar power, Psycho Dwarf 9, solar power.
That Elroy L model is a bad boy.
Yeah.
I really like the actor that plays him, and he's clearly having a lot of fun. But did we really need another Elroy model showing up?
Yeah.
We only had one a couple of episodes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, McQueen dealt with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, they showed these out of order. Remember that. Some of these are out of order. So, you never know.
Yeah, so the last time that we saw one of these models, like you say, was the Angriest Angel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he like I said, he made him a deal, and the deal was he had to give him a battery because his AI girlfriend was ailing. It just it was out there, really. I mean, the AIs are not supposed to have any emotions at all, but yet he has a girlfriend that he really is attached to for whatever reason.
Uh-huh. He has a couple of little AIs chip off the old blocks at home. Please don't hurt me. I have little AI children at home waiting for me.
Yes. Bloody hell.
It was
And
just
Wang so just up his own ass. He'd probably believe him too. Oh, you do? Oh, that changes everything. I bet it does, Wang.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying about them not acting like themselves in this episode. Wang knows not to trust this Elroy, this model. How many times has he run into this? Yet he still goes along with it. He still puts his team in danger
Yeah.
by taking the battery.
I mean, the chances are they're not going to get off the planet alive because of what he did. And what's the point in, having your confession or whatever erased if you're dead? Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, and not only that, but the part that really kind of gird me is once again somebody f's up and there's no repercussions for it.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's hit the reset button. It's all good.
I can't wait till you see the last episode. I wonder if that makes up for it. I really do. I wonder if that makes up for it. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. Consequences and repercussions at the end of this show, which will be in 3 weeks, I think. And then no more retro review. I personally think that this episode's a slogger. I'm just like, ugh, what's next? And then we get to what's next, and I'm like, huh. I don't know if that was any better or not. Green meanies and Korea.
yeah.
Green
Well,
meanies,
at least it was. At least it made just a little bit more sense. Not a lot, but it I think romper room playground stuff would have made more sense than Pearly.
So I'm gonna go around the room.
Oh, we might have lost Loki. I think Loki's going to ask what was what do we give it out of 10?
Yeah, I
for
think
this
so.
episode.
My bad.
Yep, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay,
You're
God
back.
damn it. Okay, so I'm having problems with my USB.
Your mic's having some timers, Loki.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My mic's enjoying its popularity this morning. We're gonna go around the room. We'll go Purple, Canuck, Dave Bob, and then myself. So Purple, what did you think about Pearly?
I thought it was a really dumb episode, to be honest. I think it feels like yet another filler episode. And I think, as you say, this could be one of the contributing factors to why it got cancelled, because they were putting out episodes like this that don't have any relevance to the overarching story and just feel out of place. Now, I don't know what the actual how they were supposed to be released. You've said that they're out of order, so maybe if this had been earlier on, it wouldn't have been such a bad episode, because we're still getting to know the team. They're still kind of getting together, but at this point they have worked together for so long. They're a family. They're supposed to trust each other. Wang isn't supposed to have done what he did just because he was afraid. It's similar to what West has done in the past as well. They make these stupid decisions, and as Canuck says, there's no repercussions for their actions. So out of 10, I would give this episode a 3.
And for me, I this was just, it was a Saturday Night Live skit before Saturday Night Live, I guess. It just didn't fit, and it was just stupid. So yeah, I'll go 3.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. 3 is about the highest you could give it. It was, I mean, fever dream. That's all I can say.
Fever dream, and that's it. All right. It's a weird episode. It is a weird episode. And maybe this has something to do with the fact that they were out of order. I don't know. I'm actually trying to find the order the DVDs come in. I know I've got it somewhere. Because I've got the damn box set. So I just do not see the back of the box. Anyway, Pearly, the guy's relationship with Pearly is one of those wow moments. The way he treats her, like his girlfriend. The fact that they're just kind of on this ride on this damn tank. It's one of those episodes that you're just like, when is this going to be over? Why are we doing this? Why did this happen? And then you remember McQueen 2 weeks ago saying, I don't care if you don't like to go on drops. You're a Marine Corps. Every Marine a rifleman. And you go, okay, well, I guess this is what he's talking about. On land, on sea, in the air, yada, 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 yada. It's just one of those weird episodes that you've got to put up with. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to R&R. Hey, why don't we get a whole bunch of people to guest? We'll get Coolio as the host of the Bacchus. Y'all, we're gonna go down there and we're gonna chill. We're gonna have a good time. Yeah, welcome to the Bacchus, y'all. And you're like, huh? Why did they get him? And then you get David Duchovny as Handsome Alvin, and you're like, huh? Well, that's at least interesting. But then you've got a handful of green meanies. What the fuck's a green meanie? And why the hell do they affect tanks like that? They never explain that. Oh, well, because you're ingested, you're immediately hooked on these things like you just snorted your first line of fucking meth or something.
Well, it was probably taken out of World War II. The German pilots
on methamphetamines. Yeah. If the show had continued, it might have been interesting to see what happened if the guards officer did manage to obtain more intelligence. They actually came out and said exactly what they were going to do, because that was going to end. They only had 12 more episodes left of the show. So I will talk about that. When we get to the end of the show, the last episode we do, I will talk about what was supposed to happen after episode 24. So we will get that. They have come out and talked about that. They had it all written up. And God, some of the pictures, I've got to, Purple just sent me this. I've got to share these pictures if it'll let me and not crash my computer. It'd probably crash my damn computer.
Poor Sparta. Poor Sparta.
I love that you were saying that he was so hyped up about this episode, and then when we finally get to see him, it's such a letdown.
They even threw a couple of pool sharks in this episode.
They threw everything in the kitchen sink into this episode.
Oh, look, a bag of green meanies. It's fucking NyQuil. It's a bag of NyQuil. Green meanies. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what's his name? He's so hyped up when he's taking them things. He's kind of like, bouncing off the walls, just ping, bong, very out of character.
Maybe that's what the writers were taking when they came up with some of these episodes.
Yeah.
Hawks was not acting like himself, and apparently McQueen at one time had been addicted to him too. So, I don't know. I guess tanks are just highly addictive personalities.
Yes, I like the idea of McQueen being, Hawks' mentor and kind of being there for him and being, someone he can turn to. But the whole idea that everything that Hawks does, McQueen's already done it before and has gone through it, is wearing a little bit thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna read this out real quick. This is when Glenn Morgan talked to TV Guide. Morgan's more disgruntled by critics who he feels misunderstand the series. It's upsetting to see it referred to as Melrose Space. He grumbles, especially since the episodes we've done since the pilot are more intense, closer to what we want the show to be. R&R is a show about sexy young people doing sexy young people things, creating the impression that our characters have wandered into a melodramatic late-night soap opera. It is science fiction staple, The Pleasure Planet episode, albeit on an interstellar cruise ship rather than a planet. I didn't feel that way. I'm sorry. If that's what you intended, Glenn, I'm sorry. I didn't.
And the relationship out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
I mean,
You found out that the I guess she's a hooker, and she's pretty much hooked on green meanies, but she's got a kid in the back room. Don't go back there.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this whole episode was, again, it was very strange. I mean, obviously we've got the premise that the 5/8 are working so hard, they're burning out, they're making mistakes. West makes a mistake at the beginning of the episode and nearly gets killed. And imagine that. And instead of taking it as, criticism when Shane pours him out on it, he brushes it off and says, I'm the best pilot there is. And she just gives him a look. And I was thinking, yeah, you're nowhere near the best pilot there is.
He's a legend in his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Whoever wrote this really had a good grip of because we just had Dear Earth, which was kind of like a kick back and put your feet up episode, and then we get R&R, and there's just not that sense of they need this or they're gonna crack, sir. They need this. They need this vacation. If they don't get this vacation, they're gonna crack and they're gonna kill everyone on board. We're gonna have a wild gunman wandering around on the ship, blasting their fellow crew. No, there is none of that there. It's just like, hey, you want to go on vacation? Okay, go on vacation on this cruise ship, and that's not even kind of what happens. It's just kind of like whatever, and Hawks gets laid, and he takes some green meanies, and we're supposed to care about that. Hawks, you're gonna have to go to withdrawal class on the Saratoga. It's like, really, you guys are really gonna do this? And then Shane's in there playing with fucking with oh my God, Alvin.
Yep.
Alvin L1543, which is David Duchovny in disguise, and he never even wanted anyone to know. He's like, what do I got to wear? I got to wear these weird ass contact lenses? Okay, no. I don't ever want anyone to know that I did this. I want it to go uncredited. Don't ever tell me. And of course, McQueen's like, hey, here's a film. Go watch a film.
Yeah, apparently he's a good AI. He didn't go bad like all the other AIs. He's, all he does is play pool. That's all he cares about because he's gambling
and talk smack. Yeah. He didn't come across as a good AI. He came across as kind of a jerk. So, do you think that this episode was a way for them to try and boost ratings because they had these guest stars? Do you think they just wanted to try something different and try and do something that was kind of funny, but the humor wasn't really there?
They knew Duchovny, so of course getting him's like, yay, we're gonna have David Duchovny on the show. And they knew him from X-Files, so Glenn Morgan worked on X-Files and he worked on this. The plan for this was 2 seasons. They were going to end it at 2 seasons. It wasn't going to go beyond that. So I can't imagine that they had to do something like this. So it had to be something like they wanted to. Mm-hmm. They wanted to have this episode. And like
Tulio in on the mix.
Yeah. So as the host of the Bacchus.
Yeah, it's almost as though they were trying really hard, like you say, to kind of make it more relevant. So there was a lot of kind of romance, there was cameos, there was, them supposedly letting their hair down so we can see them more as people, but they didn't really interact with each other. As soon as they got on the Bacchus, they all split up and went separate ways. Yeah, so again, we've got half a dozen different storylines that we're trying to follow.
Yeah, and you also have the romance going on between 2 of the pilots.
Did I just... Hello?
Hey. Yeah.
Shit.
We can hear you. Well, we could. Yeah. And like I said, you have that romance between 2 of the pilots, which kind of comes out of left field.
Yes.
that was really weird, wasn't it? And again, something that doesn't go anywhere.
No.
And then it takes a really weird turn at the end of the episode when they're on the planet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Middle of a firefight. Oh, we really
Middle of a
lost
firefight.
now.
Let's swap slobber, baby.
What was West's story in this? Because I'm racking my brains trying to figure out what it was he did. I can't remember. I know
I
know
think
he
he just
sets up
wandered around.
hawks because with the shall we say, Lady of the Night, which
Yeah.
she turned out to be. But I can't remember what he actually was doing on the Bacchus, apart from wandering around.
I think that's pretty much all he did was just wander around. Doing his West thing.
Getting in the way, then.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I kind of liked Shane's story. I thought that was pretty good. You know, where she's playing pool and she's trying to prove herself, and then gets kind of shot down by the AI and has to rally.
Yeah, he kind of gets into her head there, and he starts running the table, and it all looks like it's going to go downhill after that until some kind of a little ruckus happens on the ship, and he misses his shot, and she finishes it all up with her shot and takes all the money.
Yeah.
Gets the hell out of there.
It's
Yeah.
a whole lot of there. That's right. That's, to me, that was the best part of the damn show, was the match between Shane
Oh yeah,
and Alvin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in two episodes, the best part of the show is a chick beating a guy at a pool table, running a pool table on a guy.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, this is why it was canceled. I'm sure they were like, just give us 12 more episodes and we'll finish it. That was the plan. No, but we're soaked. No, but we've got no. But how about no? How about
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, back when ratings meant something.
This show overall is a great show, but there are episodes that kill it. And these are two of the episodes that killed it. Like Purple said, the advertisement for this, they ran this commercial constantly. You know, it was like you were sitting there, He-Man, and then suddenly, oh, join us on the back. It's on the next space above and beyond with Coolio. Hey, everybody, y'all ready to hit planet top? Oh, and you're like, wow, you know, and they're playing Gangster Paradise.
Yes, because this was straight off the back of him having that hit, wasn't it?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, so they're playing Gangster's Paradise the whole time the commercial's running, you know? And you're just like, wow, okay. I good commercial, shitty commercial, horrible commercial. Stop playing that commercial!
Never want to hear Gangster's Paradise ever again.
yeah. One wonders what they were smoking when they wrote these two episodes. Literally.
I blame it on those little green pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was on the green meanies. They never did, like Purple was saying, they never did say why they affected, tanks and not normal people. I mean, tanks are pretty much normal people, other than the fact that they were biologically they're human. I mean, she's got a kid, that proves it.
Yeah, and really, if you think about it, he never should have been given them anyway, because one, the doctor wasn't paying that up attention, but the nurse was. So it's still her duty to have gone back to the doctor and said, this guy is an in vitro, he can't have this. Can we prescribe him something else? But instead, she just carried on and gave it to him, even though she knew what would happen.
Yeah, that was definitely off base, because everything I've ever seen, with nurses, especially in operating rooms, they'll call a doctor out in a hurry, but they'll do it kind of off to the side. They won't just go ahead and do something that they know that's not right. The doctor may make a mistake. He may not have noticed in his record that he was, a tank, but the nurse, like I said, she should have called him out on that.
Asajj Melody says it was the 90s. It was a different time. And I've always loved that Boba Fett helmet, Asajj. So there was a series that I was watching, and it was like mid 2000s, and they go back like 10 years earlier. It's like 10 years ago. And suddenly this kid that's in the show, this black guy that's in the show, is his 10-year younger self, and they're playing that song, Living in Gangster's Paradise. And for a moment, I got excited. I was like, holy shit, because, yeah, they're back in the 90s. And, of course, if you're back in the 90s, you're going to hear that song somewhere over the course of your day. Someone's going to be playing it in a gas station. Somebody's going to be playing it in their car. You're going to hear that song somewhere because people were, like, fucking playing that everywhere. So to hear it on a commercial, to a TV show, when you're in the 90s, there's nothing special to that. There is no, like, you're just like, oh my God, it's that song again. Why the fuck do I want to hear that song again? But 10 years later, you get kind of a smile on your face because you remember. And even more of a smile, like I'm smiling right now thinking about it, because you hear
nostalgia.
It, and it's nostalgia. Yes, Dave Bob, thank you. It's nostalgia. It's nostalgic now to hear that song, even though you don't hear it anywhere on the episode. I'm sure I could pull up a preview of the episode if I actually, if I could actually find it. I don't know. I might, be able to find it on YouTube. Where you hear that song on the preview. And it's just like, wow, okay. All right. Isn't that neat? But you don't think it's neat then because you're like, oh my God, that fucking song again.
Yep.
We got rickrolled.
Yes.
And they had the perfect opportunity to play it when they entered the bar.
Yes, you would have thought it would have been playing, like you say, in the background. Or it would have been at least something, or at least when he walks, when he's introduced, playing.
Yeah,
it was strange. It was so weird.
A lot of hit and miss in this episode. Mostly miss.
Yes.
Mostly miss. Yeah.
Wow, I looked up Space Above Me on R&R Preview, and we are currently at the top of that search. Mornings of Mischief, Space Above Me on episodes 19 and 20. Live now.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. There is no preview for this episode.
No, there isn't.
And you would think I could find a commercial or something. Let me see, preview about commercial. No, there's a Space Above Beyond commercial, but it is not the commercial for R&R. So no one kept the commercials, so I'll show you what people think about this series. All right, so we'll go around the room again. We're going to start with Dave Bob. We're going to go backwards. Ending, and we'll end with me. Dave Bob, what did you think of R&R?
There was a couple of enjoyable parts about it, but overall, it just missed. I'll give it a 4.5. That's about as high as I can go. And the reason that it gets that is because, like I said, I enjoyed that one scene with Shane running the tables and that kind of talking smack and coming in, all, like a boss and just taking on all comers. So
that line, I agree with that. That line, she says, I ain't got time for sharks. I ain't got time for bullshit. I want a straight game, pure skill. Give it to me hard. No fucking around. I don't have time for it. Who wants to go? Yes, I absolutely love that when she says that. I have so much respect for her for saying that and doing that. Absolutely, brother.
That's it.
Canuck.
Well, I'll go 4.5, like Dave Bob says, mainly because the pool scene is my favorite as well, because it made me think of my dad. Because my dad's friends, when they would talk about my dad in his younger years, they'd talk about him going to the St. James Hotel, which is an old, dusty bar here in the city. and the running joke was my dad would pick up his cue and everybody would put theirs down. Because my dad would go to the pool hall and get his beer money for the weekend.
Who wants a shot at the title?
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
And the stupid part is Dad played a type of pool that I've never heard of, and I've never heard anybody be able to play it. I can't find it, and it just drives me crazy because my dad couldn't. By the time I was old enough to go to the bar or to the pool hall, Dad was too old to go, so he couldn't show me what it was. But the type of game he played was blue ball. I've never heard of that goddamn game. But yeah, Dad played that. I'm like, snooker? He goes, kinda. I'm like, okay. But yeah, other than that, I couldn't tell you. But so that made me chuckle a bit. But the rest of the episode just was like, why? I don't get it. So yeah, I'll go 4.5.
All right. Thank you, brother. Purple.
It was another odd one, wasn't it? It was another grab bag. I think they had so many ideas that they wanted to kind of put into this episode. And if they just kind of toned it down a little bit and focus on maybe 2 stories, I think it would have been a lot more fun. But because we had, characters going off in different directions, we had a little bit with Hawks, we had a little bit with Shane, not much with West, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
We had the weird romance between Dampus and Wang that didn't go anywhere and then took a really weird turn when they got called back to fight on the planet. But like you guys say, my favourite scene was in the pool hall with Shane. And after she rattles off that line, we've got David Duchovny's character. He steps up and says, attitude like that will get you spanked, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yep.
And then he's supposed to be this kind of pool shark, he's there for the entertainment, and he says what he does is impersonations as well, and he does the absolute worst impersonation I've ever heard of of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I was like, I could do a better Clint Eastwood impersonation than that. So I think that was unintentionally funny, but the whole episode was just a real mix. So I'd give it a 4.
All right. Snowed Up Live with the $2 super chat. Skull and tuck and roll. Thank you, brother, for that $2 super chat. And Adega Outlaw is correct. It is a form of snooker. Blue ball is a form of snooker.
Yeah, that was always my thought, but nobody plays that now.
No, nobody. Yeah,
you walk into a pool hall and go to play that, and nobody would know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, that was my dad's game.
Yes, and Shane Nolan's one of my. Those were one of my father's favorite movies, and those were one of my favorite movies. Is The Hustler and The Color of Money.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. And Tom Cruise is such a fucking little shit in that movie too. I hated this. I wanted to beat the shit out of him when I got older, and I understood what that movie was about. I was like, "You little asshole!" You beat the hell out of him. This episode, besides the pool scene with Shane, is without thought. It is without substance, and I am dumber for having watched it. As far as the pool scene with Shane, I'm coming from someone that loves The Hustler and The Color of Money. I really like that. She comes in and she says exactly what she wants. I don't want any screwing around. I don't want any bullshit. I don't want anybody trying to play me. I don't have time for the long game. So bring your A game and bring it hard. Or now who wants some? And I love that. I absolutely love that she did that. And it's one of those things in the things you didn't know about her. Whereas everybody else in this movie could take a flying fucking fuck. They did her part really well. And that's one of the things I just, don't get about this show sometimes. You've got your 3 hero characters. You've got Hawks, you've got Shane, and you've got West. God bless West. And his fifis and his episodes. Help us, please, get through the West's episodes. Um, you know, this is why this show was canceled. If you really want to know, as much as I love this show, shit like this, the last 2 episodes are why this Fox was like, no, we're done. That and Fox's foxery, their Fox's fuckery, screwing up the episode order, not giving them the range they need to do what they need to do, and then cutting it off. You only had 12 episodes left. You had 12 episodes left, and you cut them off. You cut them off at the knees and said, nope, that's it. You've done 24 episodes. Get fucked. This is why.
And another thing, the end, Hawks is going through rehabilitation or whatever, and there's no consequences. And after this, it's never mentioned again.
Yeah.
I thought that would be the case.
That's something that we've run into in these episodes is if there were consequences, we never knew about them, and they're never mentioned again. So that's it. That's all. After the episode, you're never going to hear about this shit again. You're never going to touch on it again. The only thing you do touch on is Wang running into El Royale. He's been a bad boy, that El Royale.
Would anyone have been surprised if El Royale had not popped up from behind the bar as the bartender in this episode?
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
Yes, I would have loved that. And Wang just freaking out. Oh, I'm not like those other El Royales. Those are bad boys, those El Royales.
Yeah.
I'm just your friendly bartender.
I did quite like the part with Hawks, because he's very childlike when he's trying to find out about relationships. I could have done without him being on pills at the time doing it, but I thought that was interesting at least. And I did like to see McQueen just kind of kicking back and relaxing and watching a film. That's all he wanted to do.
Dean Krantz, what happens on Liberty stays on Liberty, except the VD treatments. It's very true. Shane Nolan says, I like the next 2 episodes of two-parter. We will get to that. We will get to that. Speaking of Fox not giving sci-fi shows a chance, Dark Angel was canceled after 2 seasons, while the CW gave Batwoman a 3rd. Let that sink in. Absolutely. Keely Chow. We can't go on making these episodes that you like. We can't go on. We can't financially afford it. Wow, you financially afforded Batwoman for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, never mind. I mean, what? Firefly got 1, Star Trek Discovery got 4.
Firefly got a half. Firefly got a half a season.
Yeah.
They cut it off at the mid-season roll. They got a half a season. Like this, believe it or not, we are in the 2nd season of Space Above and Beyond. I know they says there's only 1 season, but in reality, the 1st season stopped at 12 episodes. We are in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it had something to do with a strike or something, didn't it?
Yeah, there was a writer's strike in the middle of the show, so they only did 12 episodes in the 1st season. They did 12 episodes in the 2nd, and by episode 8 of the 2nd season, they were told, that's it, pack your shit up, you're gone. Make sure the last 4 episodes are ready to go, and then that's it, go home.
That is a shame, because like you say, there are some really strong episodes, and when they're good, they are really good. But when you get episodes like this, and like Pearly, and when they're back-to-back, it's like being hit across the back of the head with a baseball bat. It's like, what the hell did I just watch?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they had stretched it out a little bit, it wouldn't have been so jarring.
Yes. And none of these episodes have anything to do with the previous episodes, whereas some episodes do have stuff to do with previous episodes. So it gets really confusing continuity-wise.
Make up your damn minds.
Yes. Yeah. You don't know. And that's because they were shown out of order.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox is notorious for that. So, what do you guys got coming up? I know we got something coming up here in Valhalla, but let's go over what you guys have coming up first. What do you got coming up, Purple Valkyrie?
I have got something a little bit different today. It's not at 10 a.m. as usual, but it will be at 6 p.m. Central tonight. So I've got the spooky story. It's the same as we did last year. It's, we've got to the end of Halloween. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor to anybody who wants to come up and tell a ghost story, be it real, be it a poem, anything you would like to share. Think of it as like a campfire get together. That's what I'll be doing later tonight.
Awesome. And just to show everyone about this, STD. Candyman. There we go. Canuck, what do you got coming up?
Well, we've got karaoke Saturdays as usual. We've got not this Saturday, but following Saturday we have a special one. It's the for Mary's Game Room, my dear. We're doing another. Any donation made on karaoke night again will be for the charity. Last time we raised over $100 in the karaoke nights. We're going to do it one more time before the charity, before her 24-hour stream on the 19th and 20th. So next Saturday, we're going to have the big one on karaoke and see if we can raise a couple of dollars and get the final push going. We have next week, probably Saturday, I have the What If series coming out, and it's What If Pearl Harbor doesn't happen. So that'll be interesting. No roundtable this week, roundtable next week, but there was none doing this week because I couldn't do it this week. And other than that, not much.
Awesome.
And no more wine tastings.
No more wine tastings. We'll try that with Shine. We'll make some Shine one day. And Loki can make some apple shine one day.
Call it Ragnarok.
We'll call it Ragnarok. Really quick, we are matching Mary's charity this year, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have made a donation to Mary's charity, Valhalla, we here in Valhalla are going to match it. We're going to match it up to $2,500. So if we can get the charity in total to $2,500, we will match that $25. If we do not get the charity up to $2,500, we're still going to match it. We just, we'll match whatever it's made up until then. And we're going to pay that directly to Mary's charity. We're going to donate it. Valhalla will be represented. All of Valhalla will be represented for helping with the donation for Mary's charity. You guys made that possible this year. You absolutely made that possible this year. That was all you. So, and Big Geek, let's talk with $5 super chat. This was the first sci-fi show that showed up what a person will do to fight and die for what he believes in. I don't know about that. I don't know. I have to think about that. Was it?
I don't think so.
It's interesting you feel that way. I love this show. I love what McQueen did in The Angriest Angel. That's my favorite part of this entire show. So if that's what you're referring to, I love that. I think that was TV for TV. That was that was movie quality level shit. That wasn't TV level. That was full movie quality level. This is the best show they did. That is the best episode they did. I think that beats out a lot of the X-File episodes. So, but the X-Files is a totally different ball of wax, and I won't review it because I'm not spending all that time doing that. Good show, but we're not going to do that.
That thing gets in the weeds too much.
That's right.
Yes, yeah.
So, we're going to have a birthday celebration at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is in 5 hours. So in 5 hours from now, we're going to be back on. I've got invites out in the wild. You're all welcome to hop on, come hang out. We're going to stream for maybe an hour and a half, and just hang out. And then, Bao con Dios, hasta lasagna, don't get any on you. I'm off to the races. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Valhalla. Thank you for being you. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Thank you for standing up with me. That means everything to me. So, with no more mushy shit, I'm getting out of here. Everyone have a great weekend. Be excellent to each other and always speak friend to enter. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Take her easy, folks.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.